So we're doing a video today on starter snakes. So snakes always get a bit of a bad rep. There's loads of rumours going around about some woman that fell asleep on one lady next to her and tried to size her up to eat her, but most of the stories you hear are absolute rubbish. The ones we're looking at today can't do any harm to you whatsoever. They're really good beginner snakes, great around children if you've never had a snake before. So the one I've got at the moment, this is a corn snake. This is probably the absolute best snake to start with. So this one's only a sub-adult. Maximum size they tend to get to is 4.5, 5 foot, sometimes 6 foot at a push. They are quite sociable animals as well, so you can keep, you know, one or more together as long as they're the same size. They eat really regularly, they're really well tempered. I mean, you always get, you know, you might get one that's a bit bitey. It's the same with any animal, you know, you can never say that every animal's got the same personality, but in general the snakes we're looking at today are all really well behaved. So this is your corn snake. So yeah, if you want a good snake to start with, always recommend a corn snake. We do have, there are slightly smaller ones though, so if you're thinking...
That's a Carolina corn snake.
Yeah, you can get all nice colours of corn snakes. Mind, you can get nice colours of everything, but... Corn snakes, you do tend to get more widely available colours than some of the other species without having to pay hundreds of pounds for them. So this one's our milk snake from home. Milk snakes, again, very nice snakes. They tend to be a little bit more skittish than your corn snakes, for instance. There we go. But they do settle down eventually. But what you tend to find with snakes as well, with most reptiles, is when they're little, they are a bit more skittish. And then as they get a bit older, they do settle down. So this is a fully grown milk snake. So as you can see, she's only about a metre, say 3 foot max. So they don't need a very big, like 3 foot viv, really, do her fine. And again, the only thing you've got to watch with milk snakes, these are really similar to keep, same as king snakes, but they are cannibalistic, so you can't keep two together. It's just not worth it, because in the wild they do eat other snakes. It's one of the diets, so it's just it's not worth the risk. King snakes, again, very similar to keep. Some of the king snakes, Callies tend to be the most popular that you see around there, black and white, kind of striped. Florida kings do get a bit bigger, and you can get ones like grey banded and Taze king snakes. They're really pretty and they get slightly smaller again. So it's always worth doing your research, but generally king snakes and milk snakes are all really, again, really well behaved. Some of your king snakes can be a little bit snappy, but again, that's down to the personality of your snake. You can have one that's good as gold, one that's not. Generally, milk snakes always tend to be relatively calm once they get over the initial skittishness. Again, we do have a boa as well. Sand boas are really good. Everyone thinks of boas as being massive. They're not. So sand boas are really lovely, and they're not very big snakes at all. So again, this is a fully grown adult, and this is a rosy boa. So you can get rosy boas, Kenyan sand boas. The main difference with these is, apart from the size as well, they're really finely scaled, so they're really silky to touch. That's the main reason. So when they're in the vibs, they can have actually sand in the vibs for the substrate, and it won't get stuck under the scales. With other snakes, it would really irritate them to go on sand. You're better off with aspen bedding or something they can dig in. But these love sand, they love digging, and they're not very big, so a 3 foot tank maximum for these really. These do like it a lot harder. You're having a good sniff around, aren't you? And they don't need it very humid at all. In fact, humidity in these is quite bad, so quite dry. But again, with all snakes, they're really really easy to keep, because once you've got your main once you've got your main setup, you only need to feed them once a week. You know, they're quite low maintenance. Don't need a UV bulb because they get all their calcium requirements from mice. The mice you need to feed them as well are always defrosted. It's the only downside though, if you want to get a snake, you will have to feed it frozen food. You can't get away with feeding it crickets, it won't thank you for it. But yeah, so again, Kenyan sand boas are very similar. They get kind of...
They're quite as big.
Yeah, they're a bit sausage more fatter, aren't they?
Yeah.
These are a bit more slender. So that's that one. And lastly, and these are in between... A lot of people do get them for... you want to go back in. Come on. A lot of people do get them for beginner snakes, but they can be a bit tricky just because they're a pain to feed. So this is our big female from home. Again, the temperament is absolutely lovely. Temperament wise, they're soft as anything. Unlike your corn snakes, these do get fatter. So with your corn snakes, they stay, although they're quite long, they'll stay slender. These are all chunk, so she's all muscle.
She's quite big for a royal as well.
Yeah,
isn't
she is. I mean, this is probably the maximum size you'll see her, or males will get smaller. But she's lovely. For a big snake, she's absolutely soft as anything. You know, she'll sit watching TV at home with me. She's lovely. So yeah, if you're going to get a royal, make sure it's a well-feeding juvenile, but be aware that as they get older, they will go through stages of not eating. But as long as they're captive bred and they look healthy, that it should be fine.